back to Cerrone. Is he staying at once? He looked phenomenal at 170.
Yeah, he did look phenomenal
That's
at 170.
That's his second fight at 170, correct?
Now, Cerrone at the press conference comes out and says, I don't know if the UFC loves me if you look at my paycheck. Okay, now, me and Cerrone are as tight can be, okay? And there's a lot of personal stuff with me and Cerrone, too, on the positive side, right? But the kid made over $200,000 on a fight on free TV on the co-main event, and the gate was $900,000. I mean, how much money does Cerrone expect to make on a co-main event? The kid looks great. Never held a world title, right? And made over $200,000. Co-main event, $900,000 gate, free TV.
Yeah, Cerrone's...
And we've talked, me and Cerrone.
And have you made that point to him? I'm imagining you have.
He absolutely agreed. What he said to me is, I was half joking.
Yeah.
I love him. He looked phenomenal. And the thing is with Cerrone is so inconsistent. Cerrone will come out and look like a world beater, then go out and get stopped in the first round and buy a body shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, well, we talk, we've spoken about this personally, me and you. Some guys, they'll be phenomenal, and then when they get that major, whether it's a title shot or the fight, listen, every fight's the most important fight for you, but there are all those fights that'll change your life, which is going for the belt and having that main event fight where you just come up kind of short, and that's kind of been Cerrone's not curse, but it's happened more than once. But first of all, the guy's never in a boring fight, which is awesome. That's why he's such a fan favorite. But sometimes when he gets to that top, there's a little bit of a stumble. And I love the guy.
You want to hear something crazy?
I never miss a Cowboy fight.
Cowboy Cerrone is texting me right now.
Okay. Tell him we said hi.
Hold on. Let me see what Cowboy Cerrone has to say.
Oh, no, I hope it's not a picture text. Things are really changing. You ever send the wrong picture text to somebody?
Yeah, what, your cock?
Of course. What else? Of course. I've never sent a photo of anything.
By the way,
else.
this show's called Unfiltered, people, so you should already know about our language.
I want to know what Cerrone is saying right now.
Yeah, what is going on over there?
He said he wants to get together. He wants to come in and he wants to talk.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Good,
we'll get together. I love the kid. I love him. Professionally and personally, I love Cowboy Cerrone. So,
And he's a
hey, every once in a while, listen, this day and age, every fighter on earth, especially when you look at the money that Conor and Ronda and some of these people are making out there, it gets crazy. And, listen, everybody wants to make $1 million. Everybody wants to make $1 million, but some people get there and some people don't.
Well, that's the way it is. Is guys see that, a lot of times as any type of performer, fighter, whatever you are, you watch somebody, like you said, Ronda, the top of the heap financially, and you're like, wow, I'm not doing that well. But it's like compared to everybody else, you're doing amazing. There's just a few people ahead of you, and it looks like you're not doing well compared to them, but you got to look at all the people you're doing better than.
Well, I think the thing that's frustrating, especially for a guy like Cowboy Cerrone, he has the personality. Everybody loves the kid. His fighting style is fucking exactly what I like. It's right up my alley. Everything that I love about a fighter Cowboy Cerrone is. And he's a couple fights away from having that big fight. But like Matt just said, you got to win them all. Every one is the most important, and you got to work your way up, and you got to win those big fights, And Cowboy... Again, a kid that I love hasn't always taken everything so serious. You can't be fucking rock climbing 2 days before your fight or wakeboarding the day of your fight or you know what I mean? Right. Some of the stuff that this guy does. You want to make that serious big money, you have to get in the right mindset. And the way that he looked the other night against Patrick Cote is the way you have to fight it when you fight Dos Anjos or Diaz or any of the big guys. When you get to that big fight, you got to win. Look at Matt Serra. Matt Serra was on the comeback season of The Ultimate Fighter. Which, again, I love when people fucking, this is a fucking joke. These guys are going to come off the comeback and fight fucking George St. Pierre, and he knocks George St. Pierre out in the first round. Matt, how much did your life change after that fight?
Dude, look, I'm hanging out with Jim Norton right now.
Exactly. It went right down the toilet. It went right.
What the fuck? This is what happened to me? No. Listen, I'm still riding that wave, brother. I'm still...
And you mentioned GSP possibly going up in weight if you two fought. Did you see how great Hendricks looked against Hector Lombard first fight at middleweight? I mean, that might actually help GSP.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm a fan of Johnny Hendricks. Who doesn't like Johnny Hendricks? And I detest Hector Lombard because he's a little shit. So, it was nice to see Johnny Hendricks beat Hector Lombard. And yeah, I thought Johnny looked better. You know, he utilized some good footwork, and, you know, this is too small. And listen, let's be honest. Johnny Hendricks versus Hector Lombard was two welterweights fighting at middleweight. It was like Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor fighting at welterweight. You know, it was the same thing because they're both welterweights, let's be honest. Johnny won. I thought he did a good job. Hector's a dangerous opponent, and I was just happy to see Johnny Hendricks get a win.
And I have to ask you, of course, now, what is it about Hector Lombard you don't like? I've never heard this.
No, listen, Hector Lombard's a piece of shit. You know, I mean, what can I say? I mean, you just take one look at this guy, and you know that he's a scumbag. And several times over the years, my interactions with him, we've nearly had multiple fights. When I fought Luke Rockhold at UFC 199, when I knocked Luke Rockhold out in the first round, and Hector Lombard got knocked out against Dan Henderson, that fight, in the lobby, after the weigh-in, I nearly got into a fight with Hector Lombard. He's walking past, and I say something, and I say something like, you know, he made a remark, and I said something joking, and he turns around, he's coming at me, and he's calling him and having to hold him back and this and that. And I'm saying, look at you. You're pathetic. I said, you're going to fight tomorrow. You're trying to fight me in the lobby. Get a grip. You know? Without the cage, man, he's got rocks for brains. I don't care for that guy.
No, wait, hold on. Now, listen, I know you said, you said a little something.
Yeah,
right. Come on now, Mike. Listen, champ. What
did you say?
Come on. What did you say?
No, I was walking by, and as I say, several times we've had interactions. And as I walked past, he looked at me, I looked at him, and I went, this guy. And that's all I said. I said, this guy. And then he kind of stopped, and he turned around and said, what do you mean, this guy? And I'm like, this guy. And anyway, there you go. So it was me. Basically, I started it, annoying self that I am.
So you were just being a little annoying. He actually wanted to fight over it.
This guy.
I was mocking him.
You were just fucking with him, and you must have seen Jacare looked really, really good against Tim Bosch. I mean, you're at the head of a very, very brutal division, man. There's nobody easy in that division.
But the division's getting easier. You know, I mean, Jacare, if you look at him, he used to have boulders for shoulders, and now he's got like some like little. You know, he's looking like a skinny, frail old man in there. You know, he fought Tim Boach, and okay. You know, he got a submission inside the first round, and it was a very nice submission. The setup was nice. Boach went to scoot back to his feet, and he took hold of the wrist and, you know, snapped on a nice Kimura. You know, fair play, well done. On the feet, he looked terrible. He was so robotic, so stiff. And as I say, he's the incredible shrinking man. He's getting smaller and smaller, as is Yoel Romero. So that's what I'm saying. This division is just getting easier and easier. The more time passes, the more times the steroids are out of the system, the easier these opponents are going to be. But listen, you know, Jacare's right there as well. He's another guy. I would love to fight Jacare. I would love to fight Yoel Romero simply because, you know, they deserve it, I guess. You know, in a roundabout way, they do deserve it. And I'd like to test myself against them.
You know, I find it refreshing that he wears his heart on his sleeve.
Yeah.
Everybody gives a normal, I respect this one, but yada, yada. He just, that guy's a cunt. Yeah. He's like, that's what I like.
Nobody will ever say, what do you think Michael meant by that?
Look at that court. I never called Jacare a cunt.
No, of course. No, you didn't call him a cunt. I don't even know if you said cunt. Did I say cunt?
Yeah.
All right. You know what's so awesome? I see you on Instagram with your boy, and I remember when you had him in the cage in England or Manchester. I forgot where you were, but you were so, and you were having him in the cage with you, and he was up to your waist, and now you're up to his shoulders. That's you got a big boy now. He's all grown up. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, no, he's doing amazing. He's wrestling. He's doing jiu-jitsu. He wrestled at 195 this past weekend. Of course, I fight at 185, and he did really, really well. So he's growing up fast.
Yeah, man. Soon you're gonna be telling him to put out the garbage, man. That'll be you'll be getting ready for your fights, right?
I'm trying. These new millennials are lazy fucks. What can I say? I tell him, I say, take out the garbage, do this, do that. He says, Dad, you don't do anything in this house. So yeah.
That's great.
All right. Well, before we let you go, Michael, how long are you going to be laid up for? When are you going to be able to get back into to training?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I mean, I'm my own worst enemy at times because a week after having the surgery, I was actually sparring with Kendall Grove. Kendall Grove was staying at my house because he had a fight coming up, and I wanted to help, but of course I get bored. So, it was like 8-9 days after the surgery, I went in and did some boxing sparring, and then the next day it was, my knee was killing. So I rested for a few days, and then I went and did some bag work, and then the next day it was killing. So I've been taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And just a second ago, my doctor sent me a text message. I've got to go and see him today. So I guess I'm just going to rest and stay off it completely because I'm going out of my mind now. It's been 3.5 weeks, and I'm just sitting in my ass, just sitting in my house, getting fat, eating crappy foods because I'm bored. So, so maybe a couple more weeks and I'll be able to start proper training. But the pain is still there. It's still kind of painful. But early summer, to answer your question, early summer I'll be back in there for sure.